Well, we don't plan on replacing him. I mean, it's a completely different type of kid. I mean, Peyton comes along, and you don't always have that type of kid. The nice thing is this: when you've got a kid like JJ that goes ahead and commits to the program like he has, he's been chomping at the bit for the last few years to get a crack at this, to play varsity football. He's come in at some different times and taken some tough snaps for us, and we've been grooming him for this, and we feel great about him stepping into this role. I mean, that's the big thing. From a mental standpoint, we're not missing a beat going from Peyton to JJ. JJ knows the game. He does. We ask him to do different things than Peyton. We've designed the offense to meet what it is that he does well, and he's going to have a ton of success.
I think a big thing that's going to help out a lot for me this year is my guys around me. I depend a lot on them. They create a lot of the success that I will have this year. They'll make things a lot easier on me, a lot easier on Coach to call some stuff for us. And like Coach said, we change the offense to do what helps me out, what's going to make the team more successful.
And this is just like any football program. You're going to have kids kids step up into new roles. That's the beauty of high school football. Anytime you go ahead and you graduate a kid like him, and everybody thinks the end of the world's coming, and then you've got a kid that kind of steps up and takes over, and we're excited about it. Black Friday is an interesting thing. I've had a lot of people, I know he's been in here for it too. We've had a couple kids in high school come in, and they're like, what's Black Friday? We've got a countdown out on the wall. And I'm just, we always tell them that we're avid shoppers, and we're looking for those big deals the day after Thanksgiving. And some kids go ahead and they leave, and that's what they think. But Black Friday is another way of us defining what it is that we want to do. It's the day after Thanksgiving, the 4A state championships at 7 o'clock on that Friday, and that's where we want to be. So it's pretty self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory, and it's been the goal since the first day of the off season. It's what we've been working for. It's what we've been lifting for. We're out there every day grinding at practice. That's what we strive to reach.
I think as a program, we're trying to establish ourselves as one of the better programs in Central Illinois. Not just from results on the field, but everything else that goes around it. We're trying to run a first-rate program here. A lot of that has to do with the fact that we've got great people around the program, people that want to see us be successful, and they just want to be a part of it.
Being a guy that waited till his senior year to get the starting role on varsity, I have high expectations for the JV team, for the freshman team. I like to see those guys succeed, and I'll do whatever I can to help them.
And we've got a lot of kids who look at the program the way JJ does, and we want everybody to be successful. It goes down to the JFL level too. I mean, those kids are going to eventually be Mount Zion Braves up to high school level. So the expectations throughout the program are, to live at 5. I mean, that's a big thing. We want everybody doing, what it is that we believe in. It's funny because this, you just saw the picture that popped up. It's something that it's on the, it's my screensaver at home, and they always laugh at me because I've got different screensavers. A lot of times it'll be a state championship trophy, or maybe it'll be a picture of Rochester, and it's something that drives me, something that has my attention. And we went over to that place, and I know everybody kind of got a kick out of that sign, and there's a few things in this world that get my blood pumping and get my blood pressure up, and that's one of them. I felt like we went over there, and our kids had every right to be in that game, and we finished the season 6-4, and we lost to the eventual state champion, who's now won it 5 times in a row. We want what they have. It drives us. It drives me as a head coach. It drives our assistants. It drives kids like JJ. And when you see something like that, it motivates you.
Consistent thing. Hashtag WWR, we want Rochester. I'll say it till the day I graduate. I'll say it forever. I mean, that's been our goal. We want to get there. We want to have that feeling. We want to be able to tell people to make plans with their girlfriends next weekend, because that's where we want to be.
We know the Apollo Conference is also a very good conference, but at the same time, I mean, the Central State 8's got the defending back-to-back state champion in 5A as well. They've got a lot of great teams. So this summer, we made sure we went up to Northwestern. We went down to Daphne, Alabama to find those teams that are going to prepare us so that when we get into that game again this next year, we'll be ready to go.
I think Coach Miller's brought a lot more to the team than just defense. He's led us through all of our strength training this offseason. He's made everyone better. He's made me better in my role. Defense is elevated a lot. It helps me throughout practices, prepares me for games.
He talks about, what it's done for our program. It's huge. If I have one more person ask me about how Britt and I are going to coexist, it's driving me crazy because he's a defensive-minded guy and I'm an offensive-minded guy. But there's one thing that both of us like to do, and that's win. And we have to play better defense to win ball games, to win more games than what it is that what we've done in the last 2 years. And the other thing is this: we knew that we had to improve in the weight room, and he's done that. There's something different between Britt and I. Britt's a little bit more intimidating than I am in the weight room. He's lifted a few more weights than I have. So him coming in and bringing that mentality, that winning mentality, that competitive edge, it's huge for us. Kids are buying into that, and he gets me jacked up just being around him, and it's you just can't put a value on what it is that he brings to the program. He's just huge. I've been around a lot of kids. I've been coaching basically since 2001, since I graduated from high school, and I don't know if I've been around a kid that has more talent than Brandon does. He is a 6'5" athletic freak that runs. He's a big part of it. He's a competitor. I think that's something that kind of gets lost in the shuffle too. He does not like to get beat. It doesn't matter what it is that we're doing. He sees it as, if he gets beat, he's just, it fuels him. It makes him boil. It makes his blood boil. So he's a big part of what it is that we're trying to do here.
B is my guy. B is dependable. I can rely on him. He trusts me. I trust him. If I need him to go up and get a ball, I know he's going to do what he can to get to it.
It's going to be kind of cool here in the next couple of years to see after what he does for our program that he's going to continue to represent us at the next level, because we know that's going to happen.
I gotta go with Kyle. Kyle Albert brings it every play. He's a nasty player, and you don't want to mess with him. He's tough.
Kyle's a kid that if you get backed into a corner in an alley, you're pretty excited about the fact that Kyle's on your side. He is. Nasty is a word that, as a football coach, if you can throw that word around, you've got something going for you. And he is nasty. I would say Kyle's definitely a guy that up front leads us. I think we got a lot of kids this year. I think Travis Latchell's another kid who is going to be a big part of that defense this year, turning it around. There's a lot more players that are nasty this year. I think Taco, Alex Scharf is he's a nasty player. You get into our linebacking crew. If I would have went first, I might have said Peyton Chappell. PC's he's been in on everything this year. He's in on every play. And then you got Auten in the middle, and then you got Matty Wyke, who's got a different gear. And then Carnahan's back this year on defense. He was an all-conference kid in the defensive backfield. And then you got those tweeners that as a program you rely heavy on, like a George Tyrell and a Ryan Kernan, all of a sudden kind of coming out of nowhere and taking us by storm. And then Griffin Gayweiler's had a big offseason. We've got a lot of kids that have kind of stepped up, but Kyle's definitely a leader. PC's definitely a leader on that side of the ball, and we're going to be better on defense this year. I think it's exciting. I think when we look at our program, one of the things that drew me to this place is there has been a tradition. You look at Ted Phelps, who's obviously a legend in this area. I know a lot of people have played for him. Then you look at Nolan, you look at a Dave Smith, then even a Scott Davis. There have been some great head coaches to come through this program and have done a lot of good things. I know there's also a lot of big-time players that have come through here too. And I think one of the things, when you think about tradition, I think people sometimes confuse tradition with, something else. I mean, so, whether it be a uniform or something like that. I mean, I think the big tradition here at Mount Zion has been, it's a hard-nosed program. That's what you associate it with. You associate it with maybe like a Joe Butler. I've heard great stories about a Joe Butler, how hard-nosed he was. J.R. Taylor, same type of kid. I mean, there's a lot about it. So when we talk about establishing a new tradition, it's, what are we going to do? What's our legacy? What is JJ's legacy going to be when he leaves here? How is he going to be remembered? How is this team in 2015 going to be remembered? So with tradition, I think some people, look at uniforms and say we're switching it up, we're being different. We are different. We are different, and we don't mean to be disrespectful to anybody that put on the pads here at Mount Zion in the past. We just, sometimes change is good. Sometimes adapting to personnel, adapting to the times, adjusting, and that's what we are. We're a young staff, and we like that. We like the different uniforms. We like the different looks with the helmet. We like the field turf. We like the athlete lounge that we're sitting in. Just having fun, being a part of it. You could still work hard, and I think a lot of people don't associate fun and working, hard work together. So we're just trying to establish our own legacy, our own tradition.
I think Coach hit the nail on the head when he said adapting. We don't have the 6'5" lineman, the 6'5" quarterback. We play to our abilities.
Like I said, we're trying to establish our own tradition. We're trying to establish something new. This whole play fast mentality, our live the five, our core values, what it is that we're about. We're different, and that's okay. That's okay, and we're trying to be different. But there's still a lot of things about this program that is the same. You still have people around. I mean, you look at a guy like Gary Ballou, who's a Hall of Famer. He loves what it is that we're doing. He's been around this program. You look at Jerry and Coop. There's a reason why Jerry and Coop are still coming out here. They love what it is that we're doing. They're coming along for the ride. We got a lot of people that have bought in. And what's scary is this. Every day we seem to add more people to this program, more people to the plan, and we just keep gaining steam. And we're really trying to establish that new tradition.